Hello, welcome to Tech with Praise James. In this channel, I explain artificial intelligence and machine learning concepts, jargon, buzzword through storytelling. Today, we're going to be talking about a very interesting part of artificial intelligence that I am very sure you might have come across on any social media field, LinkedIn, Twitter, your friends talking, and that is generative AI. So we're going to be talking about what generative AI is and why it is such a big deal. So come with me, best friend. Generative AI, also known as GenAI, is a class of machine learning model that creates content, whether in the form of text, images, videos, 3D models, and it does so based on patterns from existing data. So unlike traditional machine learning models that are either predicting outcomes or classifying things into different classes, generative AI actually produces something. So the key word there is generative. It generates something new, generates new content from existing data that it has learned from. Can we really talk about generative AI without mentioning ChatGPT? I mean, I feel like that was the tool that actually skyrocketed or at least increased interest in generative AI. So ChatGPT is a very good example of what generative AI can do. Use ChatGPT to create content calendar, to do assignments. It's basically everybody's bestie right now. You must have seen the trending app too by the same ChatGPT, Ghibli. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but yes, that trending app is another example of generative AI in action. But ChatGPT is not the only one, okay? We have Cloud by Anthropy. We have Midjourney that you can use to create digital artworks. Artists use Midjourney a lot. We have Copilot on GitHub, on PyCharm. Basically, they predict the next line of code or the next function or the next syntax to include as you're writing code. Possibilities of generative AI tools is endless, honestly. And we just started because ChatGPT came out November 2022 and it has grown so much from the first time that I used it to now. And new things will keep coming up. New researchers will keep cooking up new things. And I'm here for everything. I'm here for exploring everything. At its core, generative AI models learn from distribution of data. So these models have been fed millions, billions of data. So they sample from that data to create new results that look and feel and sound authentic and original. So there are examples of generative AI models. We have GANs, which is generative adversarial networks. I wrote an article about it. I'm going to link in the description. We have VAEs, and that is variational autoencoders. Then we have the popular one, transformer-based models. They are a type of generative AI models that are used in ChatGPT, that was created by OpenAI, and Llama, created by Meta. Generative AI is very useful in different fields. It's not just ChatGPT, it's a whole world outside ChatGPT. In design, we use it to create prototypes in minutes. In medicine, we use it for molecule generation. In education, we use it for personalized learning paths, for real-time tutors, and for multilingual content, for creating content in multiple languages. We also use it in software development, like I mentioned earlier, in the case of Copilot, where it helps developers to code faster. So useful in different industries. That's why it's such a big deal. But let me tell you, as with everything in life, what comes with benefits also comes with challenges. And generative AI is no exception. Number one is potential bias. So generative AI is trained with data that comes from humans in some capacity, whether directly or indirectly. It's data that originated from humans. And as humans, we are inherently biased. We think a certain way about particular things. We have different thought process. We share different values. And all these things will influence the data that is fed into generative AI. For instance, when you ask ChatGPT to create an image of a doctor, there's a very, very, very high chance that the result will be a male. If you tell it to create the image of a software developer, a software engineer, it's also most likely going to create a man. And this is because in the technology industry, men have dominated the side of software engineering. And then in the medical field, we see men as doctors and women as nurses. So ChatGPT in this scenario, it is just reflecting the existing bias that it has gotten from the data that it was fed. The second concern with generative AI is the problem of plagiarism. Generative AI is fed data from different sources. So how do we credit those sources when the AI generates a whole new sample from those information? How do we say, oh, this idea originated from so and so, from so and so website? That is nearly impossible. Yes, we can ask for references, but this model is learning from millions of data. So how many references could we possibly ask for? So there is the problem of plagiarism concerns. Then in number 3 problem with generative AI is the problem of misinformation. Now, generative AI is not perfect. When you ask for an answer to something, it might give you a result that is imperfect. And the problem here comes from the fact that there is over-reliance on AI. So people feel like AI is smarter than humans, so they just consume whatever information it generates. But it can be wrong. And that's why I always advise that anything you get from generative AI, please cross-check. Because sometimes in generative AI, ChatGPT might say something happened in a particular year, but it did not happen that year. Or it might mix someone's name with another person's surname and just generate something that does not even exist. So you have to be careful with that part of using generative AI tools. Then the fourth one is the problem of deepfakes. The deepfakes is essentially the fact that generative AI can create a very realistic image or video of an existing person. So you can use generative AI to create a video of me, and then in that video you might be making me do things that I was not doing, like maybe creating a video of me stealing something at the store. That could be used for malicious intent. That could be used in a way that would ruin somebody's image because the person did not do what is being reflected in that video or image. The truth is that generative AI is like fire. You can use it to cook a food, or you can use it to burn down a house. It's on both sides of the spectrum. It's both good and it's both bad. So we have to find a middle ground where we can use it for the intended good and try to reduce the possibility of it being used in the wrong way. There's a lot of conversation to be had around generative AI and how it has impacted lives, both negatively and positively. I have experienced a negative impact of generative AI on my work as a writer. You have clients that would say, oh, don't use AI for my work, and you won't actually use AI, but they would accuse you of because you use a word that AI uses. Hello, but AI was fed words that were used by humans. So there's that problem. I have lost a job because of that. And if you want me to do a story time, tell me in the comment section and I will do a story time to talk about how a client refused to pay me because he accused me of creating content with AI. If you want that story time, tell me and I will do my first story time on YouTube. We've come to the end of today's video. I hope that you understood what generative AI was from this video. If you liked this video, please like, share, comment, tell me you did, okay? It means a lot to me. And subscribe, turn on your post notification. Every Saturday, I drop a new video on something in AI and machine learning. Bye.